Okay, welcome to the April 20, 2020 Village Budget Hearing. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I'd like to also take this moment for a moment of silence for the 2 village residents who have passed due to the complications of the virus. All right. Thank you, everyone. The reason why we're having the meeting on a Monday evening is because by law we needed to hold our budget hearing by April 20th, and today is April 20th. We had to postpone the one that we had originally scheduled. I'm sorry, because of the virus, there's a lot of change, there's a lot of things happening, but I thank everyone for their patience. I'd like to now do a roll call. Since we're not seeing everybody, I'd like to do a roll call. So I'll start with Trustee Funchen.
Rich Funchen.
Okay, Trustee Jackson.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Jackson's here. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Trustee Zachary.
Okay. Yep, I'm here.
Trustee Pasquale.
Present for duty.
Okay, good. So all board members are present. I'd like to first thank Mike Miner for helping us out with all this technical things. The last time was a Zoom meeting. This time we're trying it this way. So thank you. Thank you, Mike, for helping set this up. And I'd like to also thank Marcus, our administrator, for being on this call, considering he's been out ill since around March 25th. He got sick, well, basically the day after our budget presentation, our budget presentation can still be viewed online or on, your public access channel. So thank you, Marcus, for coming on this call to be part of this. And I'm glad you're on the mend.
Thank you.
And also Cindy Kempter, thank you, village clerk, for manning the ship and getting this meeting also set up tonight. So we appreciate your support.
You're welcome.
So
Takes a good woman to man the ship.
I guess, yeah. If you want to, Nick, he's going to get us in trouble one day. It's going to be something. But I understand what you're saying, Nick. So first I have to make a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So at our March 24th presentation, I hope everyone was able to review the information that you got from the budget and perhaps see it online. But we were at a 43.16 increase. So, but there were items that we could still discuss. Let's see. Let me find it here. I'm sorry. I had it open. Okay. So one of the items, I'm just going to name the items that can kind of still be discussed unless there was something else in the budget that, you thought might be appropriate to discuss. One was a part-time position for $15,000. One was for replacement of lights. These are decorative lights at $17,800. One was retrofit lights, the LEDs. There's like 56 of them. That's a total of $35,420. Next week we're going to, at our workshop, discuss a few other things. One is a potential dumpster fee, but we're going to discuss that next week because we haven't had enough time to really look into that. And those seem to be the items right now. Oh, and there was one other thing. There was an increase asked for in our camp. Our camp is usually 29 days that it's open. There was an increase of $3,000 that was proposed. So that
Teresa, can I just say one thing? When you mentioned about the dumpster fee, that is only for businesses, not for regular families.
Right,
correct?
right. We'll be discussing that more, yeah. Cause
Right.
businesses have
I
to-
just wanted to make sure that anybody who would be listening to this knows it doesn't apply to homes.
Right. It's
Right.
not residential. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So those items, the part-time, the replacement lights, the LED lights, and the raises for the camp, those would be items that could be discussed. And if all those items were to be removed, we would come in under, I checked with Marcus, under 40%. So I'm going to open that up for discussion now. Myself, some of these things, so for example, the part-time position would be a newly created position, and I just don't honestly think it's appropriate right now to be adding on another position. The replacement lights, there is money in a capital fund. We could make a decision from the capital fund the amount of lights we would like to do this year. So that's something that we could look at. But remove these. And then the camp, that's a discussion we'll probably all have too next week.
Could you explain that, the camp? You're saying that,
Sure.
what was that, about $3,000? I didn't get that.
There was a $3,000 that our recreation supervisor asked for a pay raise for our camp people. Yeah,
For
so it came to about
it was not
$3,000.
clear. That's for the rec
I'm so sorry.
supervisor's
Okay.
salary. Okay.
No,
okay,
not
I'm sorry.
her salary. It was to give a raise to our camp counselors.
Oh, to the camp counselors, and the $3,000 is not per camp counselor.
No, we couldn't afford
They
it.
don't even make that in a year. Some of them.
Yeah, it's
Okay. Okay.
Can't.
Yeah, it was a small, I think, like $1 increase or something like that per camp for the year.
Yeah.
For
Well,
the-
I will say at this point we don't we don't even know if camp's going to be open because of this, because of the virus situation and the state orders, and Teresa, you and I had this discussion earlier. We pretty much have to do what makes sense and follow the state guidelines, and I think that we could wait a little bit longer and see where things are headed, and maybe in about sometime in May to be determined. But we don't want to. Maybe it's too early to close things down now because we don't know exactly where things are heading. It's all new territory. So I would, so the camp salary thing is could be a moot point. But what is the total impact on the budget if we do that?
If we do all of those items, it would go from, Marcus, correct me if I'm wrong, 43.16 to like
So it goes down
39.
to 39.95.
So we're talking about a 3.5%, 3.5% change.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, can we clarify on the lighting? I understood we were talking about converting the low street posts around the village circle and village hall to LED. That was initially going to be done a while back, but it didn't get done, and that is something that yields long-term savings, even though there's an initial expenditure. So my feeling on that is, while we should do it, we could put it off 1 year if we think that would be advantageous. Put that off for a year because it might be about a 5-year recoup time of the cost in electrical savings, and with the already disastrous number we have right now, that might be one thing, in my opinion, that we should leave off and plan on adding in next year.
Yeah, I think the impact for next year would be, that since this year if we have a very high percentage rate, it wouldn't be. I think it'd be more palatable to take next year. I agree with you, Nick.
Okay. Yeah, Nick, I was gonna. I had that written down in my notes too. Here, delay on the lighting. So I'm glad you brought that up. I'm all for that. I think that's a very good idea.
Okay, and so I guess we're all just very, tuned to that right now. Can somebody explain? You said the LED lighting and ornamental lighting. Is that the same thing, or are there two different lighting things?
Yeah, one is the replacement of two of the poles the green poles, ornamental lighting. There's 2 on Westchester, 1 at the post office lot, and 1 at Pheasants Run. Not saying that we can relook at that during the year. We can, right now, there's a lot of uncertainty. Remember, when this budget was prepared, we didn't have the economic bottom fall out of the country, which is affecting the sales tax, which is affecting every whole economy. So I just think we should be extremely conservative, because it's like, we're passing this budget, but we're not sure. We're not really sure. We're doing the best from our knowledge at this point of what's happening.
Right.
So that's why I just want to be super ultra conservative at this point and be very cautious, and have to keep in mind there's people that aren't working. It's a difficult time for everyone. It's going to take time for people to come back. One of the things that we are going to do, the water bills are due the end of this month. We're going to give it another month. We're not charging people late fees for the month of, with the understanding that, it's a difficult time financially for people. So that's one of the things, and we'll look at everything else as we're going along too.
Hey, Teresa?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to go back to the light situation again. We had talked about, just doing repairs on lights and making sure that those are okay. I was looking at a very small number on a voucher today, and we kind of sent that out to be worked on. Do we repair most of the lights in-house, or how does that really shake out? I mean, I can't remember exactly what the number was. I think it was less than $200, but it was outsourced to a vendor to replace the lights.
Were those probably were those older lights, or were those LED lights?
No, I think they were older lights.
Right.
It's one of the vouchers that you also signed out on, Nick. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, and when we had all conventional lights before we switched to LEDs about, about 4 years ago or so? Before that, we regularly was spending about a few thousand a year to replace light bulbs. LED light bulbs go, the shelf life of an LED bulb is about 5 to 10 times longer than an incandescent bulb. I don't remember exactly, but so the replacement bulbs are probably for a few of the older light fixtures that were not converted to LED.
Yeah, I guess my question is that. Are there going to be many more? I guess the question is that can we do that in-house, or will we contract that out? It was a small amount of money relative, but was the point of whether it's done in-house or contracted out was my question.
And on that voucher that they had signed?
I know, I was just going to go look for it and see what it was.
Okay. Yeah, because what happens when a light does go out, what we've been doing is, like, for each light, we've been doing, I think it's like 500, almost 500 for each light to convert it. So, but like I said, we do have money in a capital fund that if we had to replace lights, like an LED light, if we have, we do 5 or 10 of them a year, we have money in that other capital fund that we could use that for.
Right.
So we're not going to let go out and not replace them. That's not what we're. The ones.
Yeah. Light maintenance
that.
has to get done. The existing lights have to to illuminate at night. So if there's maintenance to do, there's always been a little light maintenance, and since we converted to LEDs, it's very little, but it will come up occasionally.
Okay.
Lights I'm talking about. If you look at the post office, those tall green lights. Somehow, I don't know how, one of the poles got broken, and the pole is not in the lot. It's past the curb. That's broken. As you're going down Westchester Avenue, that whole line of lights, if you're going towards Verplank, that whole line of lights on the right side. Don't know how those poles had gotten broken, but there are two on Westchester Avenue.
What do you mean by broken, Teresa? They cracked? They bent? They're on? What do you mean by broken?
And they cracked or they broke. They just, they can't be reinstalled.
Well, were they hit by a car? Was it something from that windstorm? A week or so ago, we had a windstorm.
And then there's one at Pheasants Run.
Well,
So,
I mean, but are the light bulbs still working, and it's just the pole?
No, the whole pole is down on those, and they're very.
Oh, pole is down. Well, we should be able to determine if they were hit by a car, or if it was a windstorm, or if it was some material defect. But whatever it is, we need to address it, right? We can't have street lights out.
Well, the one in the post. There's a lot of lights in there. It's not like on a main thoroughfare. Pheasants Run is a pole within that cul-de-sac.
Right.
There is, we can do some of them. We can do some of them. We can, like I said, there's money in another capital fund. We can do some of these things. But the ones I'd like to look at them.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could have Wills do an inventory of some sort or whatever to see what we're looking at over there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and he'll also know what he could fix and what he can't fix.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But anything like a street light down, broken, or out is basic maintenance that we have to continue to do. So it's not really it's not a discretionary thing. Whether we convert to LEDs for another year on those ornamental lights is discretionary. But if light poles fall down, break, or whatever, that's not discretionary. That's got to be repaired.
Marcus, you under street lighting, is there anything? I mean, I see what the ask for was under street lighting, but under equipment anywhere, is there any other than the capital fund to replace those street lights? When
No, the light that you listed or replacing the light was actually the post replacement, and then the other one was just the LED light. So that's the only thing we're planning to do. And then we do have like regular bulbs going out and just replacing bulbs when we need to do it.
Well, if we're replacing any ornamental light poles that come down, whether it's from an accident or from a windstorm, and we're planning, if we have to put a new pole back up, we should be putting it up with an LED head, so we're not doubling back on that again when we do a conversion.
My only
That's
problem.
correct. That's right. Any replacement of lights is to replace them with LEDs. Yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
I just don't remember when these poles, the actual poles, came down. Was it from an accident? Where you remember out at the circle when somebody crashed into the wall. We had an insurance recovery. I'm just not sure why these poles came down.
Would we be able to get something from the police?
No, these poles went down for a number of years. According to Bob, that it could be car hit them middle of the night. Nobody knew who hit them. All we do is the police saw them down and then report them. So they were hit, but it was a hit and run, and they just left the pole knocked down.
Really?
Nice.
Wow.
All right. Well, then maybe there's still, that might be something that's covered by our insurance then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's probably kind of late now.
Wow.
Well,
how many lights were knocked out? How many lights were knocked? Two of them in that area?
There's two on Westchester, one at the post office, and one on Pheasants Run.
Yeah, and oh man, okay.
Well, these lights are not in the middle of the road. How the hell are they getting hit by cars?
Oh, I know. They're up on a curb. I don't know. I just can't imagine.
Don't know either. All we know is it's the police or DPW said the pole is down, and nobody knows what happened.
Huh. Okay. Okay, well,
That could be vandalism. That could just be vandalism. Somebody knocked it down with something. It didn't have to be a car.
Yeah, it's going to be somebody trying to hang from it or something like that, and these poles are not that.
Yeah, it could be kid. Yeah, it could be anybody fooling around with it, or was walking with took a piece of 2x4 to it, or whatever the heck they did, and after they knocked it out, they ran with the wind. But that was car damage. That thing would have been totally flattened.
You're right. Yep.
well, anyway, we're probably talking about 0.25% effect on the tax increase. We have a lot of the bulk of our very large tax increase is not coming out of two major things and is not in our control. Well, stuff we have to, most of this tax increase has to go through. So we're talking about 0.25%, and in my opinion, if we have to fix some light poles, we have to fix them.
0.25%.
Yeah, I mean, a quarter of 1% on a tax increase is about a $5,000-$6,000 expense. It sounds to me like we're talking about replacing 2 or 3 poles at a cost of a few $1,000s. It's a small number on top of this tax increase that's not going to make a big difference to me, and that's not something that we should just leave laying around like that.
Well, like I said, we do have money in a capital fund that we can use to do street lights off.
That's fine. It's got to come from somewhere, though, right? It's not.
Oh, no.
We don't want to be a village with street poles laying on the ground.
No.
Things that are happening that can adjust where we are, and just to put a hold on that for now until we can relook at that. Those are just my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree.
So do I.
What was the dollar figure for those light poles?
17,800, wasn't it? 17,800.
17,800.
Oh, so it's for how many poles?
4 damaged decorative street lights. Yeah, so it's a little less than 5,000 a pole.
Okay, it's more than I thought then.
Yeah, each pole is close to 5,000.
Well, why don't we check and see if our insurance covers it, or if we could take it out of the capital fund Teresa was just mentioning.
That's a good idea.
And try to get it done. I think it's not a situation we want to be sitting on for a year. We can't make that go away. We have to address it. So we should check the insurance possibility, and whether there's money in another fund.
And tomorrow, so everybody knows, the accident that happened at the circle with the wall, it also damaged our sprinkler system.
Oh gosh.
Our company will be there. We will get some money back fixing the sprinkler. I believe the quote was like $3,500. So I'll have more details tomorrow after Bob meets with the sprinkler company.
Okay, can we just go back to the voucher you guys were talking about? Bob just told me that it was to fix the wire that goes to the light fixture. So that's why you needed the electrician.
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
We don't.
What other comments do we have?
Well, I have nothing but I looked over the thing, and I agree with what the mayor is talking about. That I think it's, if we could bring it down a few points this year, I think it's important, because next year won't be as bad, and it won't be as bad to add on 1 or 2 next year if we have to, and because with everything that's going on and people being out of work and everything, we gotta try as best we can. I know it's almost insurmountable, but every dollar counts to some people.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, this is our first budget. Unit 2 will close on April 30th, so that's next week. So this is going to be our first budget with loss of income from Indian Point. So there is a group of people that are trying to keep it open, but it will be closing, as I was told. It will be closing next week on the 30th, as scheduled.
So, Teresa, we're looking now at a potential just savings for now. I mean, just to put things on a delay for the part-time, which was 15,000, and changing over to the LED lights, which was 35 something, right?
Right. So we're not. So we would take out the 15,000 part-time, the replacement of lights, which I said there is money in another line, and the retro of the LED lights, and the 3,000 for the.
Okay, I missed something. Okay, got it. I think that's all very reasonable to put a delay on that.
Marcus,
on those things.
did you say that drops us down to 39% increase?
Yeah, so that 39.95, the average tax bill increase would be $549, and the per month that's $45.79.
Well, I agree on the LED lights. I agree on the part-time position. I don't agree on fixing the street lights, although we should first look into having it covered by insurance or having it come from, if there's other capital fund with money in it that could be used. But that's, to me, that's a maintenance thing that should be taken care of. The other stuff is discretionary, and we could. I would agree on all the other stuff.
Okay.
So can we agree to this extent that we can pass the budget tonight, and then if the light situation is, as you say, Nick, a maintenance thing, I understand what you're saying, but the maintenance thing would have to be done, and we could find some of the money.
Yeah, we'll find a place for it to get the money. That's true, because every year there's unexpected repairs that come up. There's always, there's contingency money or capital fund money. So sure, I think that's nothing. It's not to hold up the budget for. That's for sure.
Right. Okay.
So let's see.
So
there
I
was
would have comments to the public. Anybody has dialed in. If anybody would like to, because are the boards all finished with questions, comments right now?
I am.
I had one question last time that well, I got most of my questions answered. I have one thing though. Last year we put that some money into the budget to renovate for Village Hall renovations, and we did not use it. So I'm wondering if we're going to be able to carry that over into the new budget.
Yeah, but
obviously a lot came up, and we didn't get to those renovations, but there were.
I'll get your answer, Nick. Depending how the our fiscal year ends this year, that money's still in the budget. We can transfer that money to the capital fund, and now we have the money available to do any repairs in the coming year. But we won't find out how we wind up this year, especially with everything going on. I don't want to.
Right, it's not going to happen this year, right? That's why I wanted to carry it over. So
carry it over, yeah.
Into the capital fund.
Yeah.
Okay. That was my only other thing.
Oh, okay. All right. And if there's anyone on the call, are there any residents anybody that would like to comment or ask a question on the budget?
No calls yet.
Okay, because I know what we did is Cindy, thank you for sending out the code red, and then Cindy also sent out on
Sharon did the Facebook and the MailChimp.
Sorry, thank you, Sharon. And so she did that today, put it on Facebook. We did the code red. We did all that stuff. So we did advertise that. Also next week, it's a scheduled workshop, so we will still have the workshop next week, and I'd like to go to the workshop into executive session. There's some contractual things that need to be discussed, but we'll have our workshop first. So,
Teresa, are you talking about the 28th?
The 28th, yes.
Okay. Workshop 28th, 7:30?
Yep, that's our regular time that we have a workshop.
Okay.
So I still want to keep it because there's things that we...
Oh, yeah.
We want to keep things moving forward here, so...
Okay.
No calls. It's 8 o'clock.
No calls.
Any other comments from the board members?
I
Marcus?
just was questioning when we do a meeting next week, if we could, if I know you and I talked about it earlier, but I'm not quite sure if we could do it on Zoom. I like the idea of the Zoom more than just the phone. But Mike, are you able to hear us? Our video guy, or is he not?
No, Jesse's here, not Mike. Jesse's here tonight.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Now, does he know? Can he answer the question? If we were to do the meeting on Zoom, is there a way to live cast the Zoom screen?
I mean, well, that's what Marcus was talking about, like setting up the TV screens so that we could see everybody through the TV screen on Zoom, right, Marcus?
Right, but
we're
with the
not
board
doing that
members,
yet, yeah.
board members cannot use Zoom on an electronic device and have their TVs on, or
Right,
it gets all screwed up.
Exactly, yeah. Well, we can work on it. We can figure it out.
Okay.
But it sounds like it's more. I mean, I know it would be preferable to have a viewing, but I mean, we could still get done with this without having to go through a whole complications of things. This seems to work better than the Zoom.
Well, why? Because you don't. Because you could wear your pajamas, right?
Yeah. Actually, Nick, you're talking about whether you're wearing clothes at all.
All right. Well, see, there you go. So now that's why we got to go Zoom to see.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And geez, I know how you're dressed, so don't laugh too loud.
Don't even go there, my friend. I've been working out.
Yeah, the new term for that, for the clothes we're wearing during the day, is daytime pajamas.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Oh boy.
Questions? No other discussion on the budget? Marcus, thank you for, I know it was a difficult budget because you had to correct quite a few things from the budget that we've had for 10 years and, put things in the right place. And I know you had mentioned to us that there was a lot of overestimates on the previous budgets of income and underestimates on the expenses. So, I knew you had to go line by line and put everything in order, and I thank you for that. It was a lot of work, but we appreciate that.
No problem. I think this budget, with the minor changes you guys are talking about, it's a very conservative budget. I think it's the first step, and that's been, I guess, how can I words I want to say, has been not really overlooked for the last 10 years. I think we'll be in a very good place to move forward, especially with Indian Point closing down and the new budget format and the new spreadsheet I created. We can follow everything much closer, and we'll be heading in a good financial conservative position from this point forward.
Right, good. That's where we want to be.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion to approve the 2020-2021 Village
We
of
have to
Buchanan.
close the public hearing first?
Sorry, I do that all the time. Thank you, Nick, for pointing that out. I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Second?
Aye.
All
Second.
Okay, thank you. And now I guess we have nothing else that we're discussing, so I'd also like to make a motion to close the meeting.
Well, go back to your voting on the budget now.
You're voting on the budget.
We're out of the budget. So we're good?
Yep.
We need a motion to approve the budget, or is that?
Yes.
Motion to
Okay.
approve the Village of Buchanan 2020-2021 budget.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Aye?
Aye.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye, so it's unanimous.
And
Okay.
no opposed?
No opposed.
Okay.
Yeah, there was not much, we all know there was not much we could do with this, unfortunately. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
And we will talk next Tuesday, 7:30. Yeah, let's keep it
7:30.
7:30. It's consistent.
7:30. Yeah. Yeah.
That it's not at 6:30. This way people realize, it's been advertised that it was.
Yeah. Sure.
The other meeting. If we couldn't resolve the budget tonight, that would carry over to next Tuesday. But Tuesday is our normal workshop.
Great.
So.
Hey, thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks to all, yes.
All right.
Love you
Everybody
all,
stay
Marcus,
well.
and go figure out.
Yep.
Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
Okay.
night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.